Hi, what's up? A while back I made a video, or two videos rather, about modifying the transmission of my Ford Model A. You see, it's a 3-speed and first and second are rather close by each other and third is a huge gap in between. Which gets especially annoying when you want to go up a hill and accelerate all there is in second speed. You're not going to get much faster than maybe 25 miles an hour. Since it's not synchronized, you'll have to wait for a long time for everything to calm down in order to engage third. And by the time you've done that, you've lost all your momentum and the car is too slow to actually get up the hill in third.
Not when I shift into maximum overdrive! Hi-ya!
So what I've done is increase the ratio of first and second gear, reverse also increased by design. However, that got me first and second much more useful because second speed is now going up to 40 miles an hour if you really push it, and you can flawlessly shift into third without having to wait so long and without losing that much momentum, while still retaining enough engine braking, in my mind at least, to have this thing be useful. A lot of people asked if I was willing to produce more of the shafts which I made, and I have done so. We've started with a very small series of 20 pieces, and we've been doing that for inside of Germany exclusively. Reason being that I wanted to minimize the risks of things getting lost in transport, customs, financial situations, whatnot. So I stayed within, the bubble of our German Ford Model A club and sold a couple of pieces there. And in this video I just wanted to briefly skip over the process, show how we made everything, and give a short explanation what may or may not happen in the future. Step one was turning the pieces. A little background on that: I work at a small CNC machining business, and we didn't make everything in-house. We could have, but prices are always a thing to consider. So a couple of things have been done outside, a couple of things have happened during a vacation of mine, and I was really only able to do a few photos of this, so it's going to be quick. The intermediate shafts were completely machined outside, heat treated and ground as well, and the input shaft is what we put the most work into in-house. We made the spline on the end where the clutch goes. We did that in our CNC lathe, which can also be used as a mill to just mill out the contour. Then we rechucked it and put the profile for third gear into the front. And before it went off to heat treating, I also drilled the holes for lubrication of the pilot bearing. Next, we've sent the heat treated parts out to get ground on the inside, and then chucked them up on the lathe to machine the outside bearing diameters. I have done 2 transmissions for close friends of mine who wanted such a thing, and I built the entire transmission up myself. So I know that everything is a fit and it really works. And now I'm just letting the people have their pieces and run them and see if there is any trouble which is going to arise, which I don't suspect because the plans have remained exactly the same since the last time, but who knows, right? I am really not the risk taker when it comes to making pieces for other people, and that is also part of the reason why process has gone a little bit slower than many of you may have wished. There is over 40 people worldwide which have contacted me and want a set of gears for the transmission. And I'm not quite 100% sure if I'm going to be able to fulfill those wishes, because making parts in Germany is one thing, making parts for shipping within Europe is already another, and making parts and shipping them to the US has become increasingly difficult over the last 2 years maybe. Regulations, taxes, customs have skyrocketed. We've sold the parts for 1,200 euros per set in Germany. Within Europe, well, that's going to be more or less the same. Shipping's going to be more expensive, of course. But going outside to the US or any non-European Union country, customs are probably going to be pretty expensive. The only workaround that I know of is to declare them as scrap and send them over, you know, saying the retail value of a piece of iron is somewhere like, I don't know, $1.50, and customs going to glance over that. However, maybe they're going to get suspicious if 50 packages, all from the same origin, are going to be shipped into the US, and they're all declared as scrap, and you can just look into one of them and immediately find out those are new parts. So yeah, it's not as easy as I wish, and you are going to wish as well, no doubt about it. I could work out a deal maybe with Snyder's or Max Auto Parts or Bird's or whoever is selling spare parts for Model A's. I could maybe work out a deal to have these pieces manufactured in the US and give off the idea completely. Heck, I could imagine selling my idea to Mitchell, you know, and have them machine it for me. I don't know yet. I really don't know, and it's going to take time to figure out the best solution for this problem. Because, quite honestly, it makes me proud if people want the transmission shafts that I came up with, and even more so if people are happy with it. I myself am pretty happy with it. I've driven over 5,000 miles with these pieces. Biggest incline I've been on was 21% with 2 people and a whole load of baggage in the car. It was no problem to get started on the hill, and also no problem getting down it using the engine brake. This is about the steepest hill in the area that I know of. Oh, Paul, what do you think?
Yes, that's pretty steep.
Okay then. I've taken the transmission cover off and given everything a thorough examination, and all that I was able to see is that the gears have not worn out but just polished. I mean, they look mirror smooth on the teeth. There is no breakouts, there is no pitting, there is no galling. It's beautiful to look at, quite honestly. The transmission has gotten quieter after, shall we say, 1,000 miles of driving. I have put a magnet on the drain plug, and of course initially there was a bit of fluff on there from the entire wear-in process, but now it's just the normal wear. I mean, any normal non-synchronized transmission is going to experience some wear on the teeth when shifting not quite so smoothly. And you know, when I had the standard 3-speed with no altercations on it, the amount of swarf that I would find after an oil change was no different to what I can see now. So yeah, that's basically the summary of where we are at this point. And I'm very curious about your suggestions. Maybe some of you is working in transportation or know their way around with laws and shipment and customs and whatchamacallit. And if you have any contacts to maybe distributors or Model A parts vendors, something like that, I'm sure we can work something out. For the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye! Bye.